Ofelia Esparza, California State University, Los Angeles alumna, is an esteemed and beloved artist and educator. She has been called a community treasure and a national treasure for her many contributions to the arts, education, community, and cultural pride. For more than 30 years, Mrs. Esparza has shared her talent, time, and energy teaching traditional art forms to children and adults. A pioneer of the Chicano movement, she brought Chicano cultural pride and understanding to school children when she began teaching here in East LA in 1974, after graduating from this institution. Her artistic contributions took form through her work as a painter, printmaker, and altar maker. Her community has benefited from her many decades contributions as an art instructor, exhibiting artist, and volunteer at the historic self-help graphics and art, and at the Plaza de la Raza Cultural Center for the Arts and Education. Ms. Esparza's work has involved making many altares, Dia de los Muertos, and decorated altars maintaining centuries of old customs, keeping alive the memories and souls of loved ones and neighbors and friends, and educate and inspire within the Latino community and beyond. Appreciation of Mrs. Esparza's art is not restricted to the Los Angeles region. Her work has been exhibited locally, nationally, and internationally, showing at the Latino Museum of History and Art and Culture, the Los Angeles County Museum of Art, Long Beach Museum of Latino Art, Orange County Contemporary Art, Santa Barbara Museum of Art, San Jose Heritage Plaza Art Center, the Mexican Museum of San Francisco, Mexican Fine Art Museum in Chicago, Centro Cultural de Tijuana in Mexico, the Glasgow Print Studio in Scotland, and many local galleries and art centers. In recognition of her artistic work and many cultural contributions, the Board of Trustees of the California State University and California State University, Los Angeles, are proud to confer upon Ofelia Esparza the honorary degree of Doctor of Humane Letters. Ofelia?
By the authority vested in me, I confer upon Ofelia Esparza our highest honor, the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, with all the rights, privileges, and honors pertaining thereto. Congratulations, Dr. Esparza. It is an ancient custom to invest those who receive academic degrees with hoods that designate the degree bestowed. We present this hood to Dr. Esparza.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh, Mom. So proud of you.
Love you, Mom.
Thank you. To the President of the University, Mr. William Covino, the Board of Trustee members to hear Mr. Hugo Morales and Mr. Steven Stepanek, university administrators and faculty, graduates and their families, my family and friends, ladies and gentlemen. It is with deep humility and profound gratitude that I am here today to receive this great honor bestowed upon me by my alma mater. I am especially honored to speak before this morning's graduates who are embarking in a field of education, as I understand. It has been said that the future of any society lies in the education of the young, but also in the substance of the teachers and the role models that come into their lives. At a very young age, my dream was to be an artist and to become a teacher. I was unaware that I was already always an artist, but to be like someone like Miss Agnes Lee, my second grade teacher, who embellished my love for learning, who celebrated my talents and introduced me to the world of books, that became my second dream. I lived in a world of creativity with my mother, Guadalupe, and she was its greatest proponent. Mama Lupe's resourcefulness and her creative spirit nurtured mine, providing a myriad of activities for me to explore and to discover. She was known for her cooking. She grew her own food, raised chickens, utilized indigenous implements, the molcajete, el molinillo, el metate, to grind her corn and to make her chile and her mole. My brother Rudy, who's 90 years old, and I think he's here today. He rode these hills around this very campus, looking and picking quelites, wild spinach, and other greens to bring to my mother for her cooking. She made paper creations and the floral decorations with flowers from her garden for her nacimiento and her Day of the Dead altars. I became her helper. I did have a deep sense of belonging to my family, my neighbors, my culture, and even to the earth, because I was an observant and I explored the rhythms and patterns in the natural world around me, observing the birds, the insects, even the soil and the sky. My world was color and light, held in the fascination of the stories of my mother that she told about her tierra, her homeland. Listening to my grandfather and the neighborhood elders, their dichos and adivinanzas, their sayings, to their music and to the songs which I sang with wild abandon and which buoyed my young heart. I was connected to the universe and I felt safe. This is the foundation to why I build altars and why I chose to be a teacher. I'm going to build an altar today using it as the elements in a metaphor to shine and light your journey of an educator. An altar is built on a foundation. This is important because it supports all the elements which are held by and connected in relevance and in the strength of its base. So too, my foundation, which I have described, my sense of belonging and connectedness, where I shine with light and color, feeling safe, supported me and loved me in my own world. Now, I have always wondered why, that even that I loved school so much and loved learning so much, two dark experiences always pop up in my mind before the many, many joyful ones do. In my elementary school, I was born in 1932, so that was a long time ago for you. Possibly third grade and higher. A monitor from each classroom was picked with a little notebook as part of the safety committee. That monitor would go down into the playing field during recess time and our lunchtime, while we, the children, played and sang and ran, and whose job for the monitor was to write down names during that time for all of those of us spoke Spanish. Like many of us, Spanish was my first language. It was what was spoken at home. After the recess bell, we lined up. Our names from the list were called and then one by one, we were told to extend our hand, to be slapped on the palm with a ruler for speaking Spanish in the playground. Now, one teacher in fourth grade always had us put out our back of a hand, where she gave a strong whap with a ruler. Of course, this hurt. And I would ask myself inwardly, why does she hate us so much? I wanted to be invisible and quiet in order to stay in the good graces of that teacher. We must have looked gray, colorless, and dull. The light had been taken out of so